today's episode of We Are Greek News. My name is Chloe and I will be your host for today. One of today's topics is the debatable argument of Socrates. One of today's main topics is about Socrates. Is he really as great as people think he is? Let's find out. Socrates is one of the most famous philosophers of our time. Some people think he will go down in history. Others think he will be famous for another reason. Everyone claims he is such a great philosopher, but ever since he has been alive, no one has found any written records of him. The only written records of Socrates are written by 4 scholars, Xenophon, Plato, Aristotle, and Aristophanes. But the other side of this argument is that just because Socrates didn't write anything himself, doesn't mean that he wasn't a great philosopher. He still preaches to people to this day. He is an amazing teacher to those who believe in philosophy. But that brings up another argument. We'll talk about that right after this.
Hello everyone, my name is Terry Barbers and I'll be introducing the weather to you for the days Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. On Tuesday, the weather will be 25 degrees Celsius and very sunny, so be sure to wear white clothes so that you don't get hot. On Wednesday, the weather will be 22 degrees Celsius and very rainy, so farmers, you should be happy about the rain. On Thursday, the weather will be back to 25 degrees Celsius and very hot and sunny, so farmers, it should be a good week for your crops. That's all for today, folks. On Tuesday, it will be very hot and sunny. Wednesday will be a rain shower, and Thursday will be very hot and sunny again. Be sure to tune in next time on We Are Greek Television.
We are back with the debatable topic of Socrates. Joining me here is our special guest, Zoe. To people who believe in philosophy, Socrates is an amazing role model. But to those who don't believe in philosophy, they think that he should stop teaching and just let the gods do what they're going to do. After all, most people in Greece and Athens nowadays believe that the gods are responsible for most everything that happens around here. If people who live outside of Greece are told the wrong things about Socrates, they might even believe that he doesn't exist at all. The debate about Socrates probably will not end until long after the rest of his generation are dead. After he's dead, some people still might doubt he existed. So, what do you know about Socrates?
I really don't know much about him.
So, after hearing this, what are your thoughts and feelings?
I don't think philosophy should exist. We have the gods for everything we can possibly need. Food, the harvest, and sports. Why do we need guys to argue about anything? Guys are like that. They argue about everything.
So what do you think about the other side of this argument?
I think they might have a point going on. Like, if philosophy was their god, it would make sense. But really, they're Greek. They should believe in gods. We all believe in gods. You believe in God? I believe in God. You believe in gods.
Well, I'm sure philosophers like Socrates probably believed in gods too. Where do you think they came from?
I think if they did believe in gods, they would put all the trust in. But I think they're a little bit insecure about how they're living. They think that maybe the gods won't provide everything for us. So they need another way of living. Philosophy.
If you were Socrates, how would you handle all this debate?
I think Socrates seems like a really easygoing guy. He would probably let the situation solve itself, but he might intervene a little bit, because he thinks philosophy is right. But I'm sure that he doesn't disagree with anyone. Or he might internally do that, but not say anything.
Thanks for being on the show with us today. Make sure you tune in tomorrow on We Are Greek News.
Hello, welcome to the business section of the show. My name is Anastasia. First, we will start with jobs. I know many people have lost their jobs because of the war between the Athenians and the Spartans. Many of you have also lost family to the battle, and we pray for all of you. Now we will be showing a clip of an interview that I did with a merchant's child in Athens. Excuse me, what is your name?
My name is Alexis Ambrosa.
Did you have any family fighting in this horrible, horrible war?
Yes, I did. My 3 older brothers were fighting against Athens, and my 1 older brother, who is sort of my stepbrother, was fighting against Sparta, and I lost my father to the war as well.
That is very, very tragic, and I'm so sorry for your loss. I wish you and your family the best of luck. If it's not too difficult to ask, would you mind answering some questions about how the war has affected your business and life?
I wouldn't mind at all.
Well, how has the war affected your life and business?
Well, the war has certainly lessened my business because women aren't allowed to leave the house and men are off fighting this war that we really don't need.
Our lives have changed drastically since the loss of the income that my father and brothers used to bring in. Now my younger brother is running the booth while my mother and I wash clothes for the soldiers. Everything has changed. But these are the only things that I can actually explain without making nonsense out of myself.
What do you mean by that?
Well, when someone you love dies, it's really heartbreaking. You can't explain the feeling you get. My mother was affected the most, and she didn't take the news very well. She cried every night, and she still does. My younger brother didn't know my father very well, so he didn't have much to cry over. And I cried every night for the first couple of months, but I've slowly recovered.
Wow, I've never heard anything like that about death or war or loss. So I thank you for your time on this interview, and I hope you and your family have the best of luck. And I will assure you that I will be praying for you, as well as many others.
That interview was one of the most emotional I've ever had done. It almost made me cry when I heard Alexis's story. As you can see, the war has had a huge impact on many people, especially families like Alexis. No matter how big or small a war is, it makes a huge impact on people who have been hurt, physically and or emotionally.
Today, I will be sharing a couple of stories with you. My name is Terry Barbaras, and the first story is about the Olympics. No females were allowed to compete or watch because men were competing nude. Wrestling, boxing, foot races, and even horse racing are some of the few sports competed. There are also many more events, including the pentathlon, which was a series of 5 events. That's all for the Olympics, guys. Now my guest reporter will be talking to you about voting in Athens.
The second topic today is about voting. Voting in Athens, Greece is very strict. You are not allowed to vote unless you are a male and Athenian born. This cut the amount of voting very slim. Not many people were able to vote because of this strict policy. Now back to you, Terry.
The third and final topic is about the Peloponnesian War, which was fought between the Spartans and the Athenians. There were 3 phases of this war: the Archidamian War, the Sicilian War, and the Ionian, also known as the Decilian War. This war was started because of Sparta's fear of Athens' growing power. The Athenians were becoming increasingly stronger. They improved so rapidly that other city-states feared that they were becoming too strong. However, in the end, the Spartans won the Peloponnesian War. That's all the time we have for today, folks. Be sure to tune in tomorrow.
This newscast was brought to you by We Are Greek Television, where our standards are as high as Mount Olympus.
This weekend.
Why are you watching this?
What do you know about Socrates, you poop?
Why? Oh,
Rachel! Okay.
Lord, just take all the parts you cut.
I get to put pictures in there.
Sorry for all the laughing. I mostly
My name is
Alexis Ambrosa.
Okay.
No, Angie, get out of the scene. Go.
Come on, people.
Jarvis mermaid dancing over there.
Jarvis.
It's inevitable.
What? That's
Bloopers? Can we have bloopers, please?